everyone, and welcome to another episode of Warped Ones. Today we've got our special guest. It's just me and Martin today. We've got the wonderful Martin Chapman from Bugle Batreps. Simply the best, indeed.
The best of both teams.
That's it, yeah. It's the A team today, Bugle A team, and the Warped Ones A team. That's why it's Adam. How are you anyway, Martin? How are you doing, mate?
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Good to get you on at last. We've been saying it for about a year now, but here you finally are.
Finally am, yeah. Back on the face of YouTube after a long time.
Yes, we are. So I'm going to start at the beginning, Martin. A question that I ask all of my guests when they come on. Well, it's only been you and John so far, but we're building them up. I want to go right back to the beginning. Yeah. Straight into the interview. So how did you first get into Warhammer? Tell us your journey when you was a wee lad. What was you doing? Did you come out of your mother's room rolling dice?
Oh, no. So I've got a dog here as well with me. I think we was about maybe 12 or 13, and it's me, Toby, Nev, and Ben. Another Ben. We all like the OG, the Bugle crowd basically it was. But back when we was like 12, 13 in school, we used to go in Mad for Midges and Snowstall, playing like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that lot. And obviously when Mad for Midges, fucking seeing people playing Warhammer in there, I was like, oh, let's jump on this. So also I started buying like random figures and stuff like that. I was playing Drakari back then as well. And then literally just bought models, played on the floor where I live now still. All just using boxes. I was playing Drakari at the time. All my old fucking jet bikes, all old metal Taloses and things like that. Nev did all shit. Every time he'd go toilet, would fucking step on one of my models. Oh, nice. I used to do Drakari or Dark Elder when it was back then. He was Elder. Literally, every time the fucker went get up off the sofa or chair to go to the toilet, fucking stand on a jet bike or stand on a Talos. All the fucking little fight stands.
Oh, no.
Have I still got on there? In reach, I still got just my old Drakari. Just about.
Oh, wow. How old is that model?
It's quite fucking decades now.
Yeah, it's probably vintage now.
Yeah. But when I was 13, I bought a box of Dark Elder models. Yeah. Of a guy called in Mad for Midges. We used to call him Big Fat Dan. I literally had a big box of Dark Elder back in the day. Yeah. And every weekend I'd go see my nan down in Troy, and she lived just up the hill from the Games Workshop shop on the corner. Every week I'd go there, see my nan, she'd be like, here's fucking like £10, £15. Go down Games Workshop shop, buy the little single models in the metal packets or metal models like Riches or Incubi, Archons, things like that. Had loads like Warpies, Helions, all metal. Had Vex back in the day. Yeah,
back in the day when you went round your mate's house to play Warhammer, you'd be lifting it and you'd be power lifting at the same time because the case was that heavy.
Yeah, funny enough, still back when I was that age, I was the only one hosting still.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah, so things never change. But yeah, obviously like everyone, as you get older into your teens, you find alcohol in your life and girls and you have
the gap like we all have. Yeah, that's just normal for every Warhammer player our age, isn't it? We have the gap, come back to it about 20 years later.
Yeah, and when I did come back to it, I found out my mum sold all my Drakari or Dark Elder.
Oh no!
£20 car boot, including vet on his Ravager. Money's that worth now is ridiculous.
Yeah. I had the original Warhammer Quest box set, the first edition, and I used to play that. That was one of my gateways into Warhammer. And I really don't know what happened to that. I've moved house that many times. It was at my parents' house, but I've moved out a long time ago since then. I would love to know where that is, because that goes for an absolute bomb now on eBay. So you're looking at nearly £1,000 for that now. And I think it's just at the bottom of some landfill site somewhere. What a shame. If only we knew back then what we knew now.
Yeah. So obviously then to when was it? I think 2020, I want to say. There's a 2020. So yeah, we started playing again. Just literally a few of us went into Mad for
Oh, so
Miniatures.
was it as recent as that you returned in 2020?
Might be 19 actually.
Okay.
Maybe 19.
So
Yeah,
not
something
in
like
the grand scheme of things, it's not really
like
that long, is it?
halfway through 8th edition. A few of us went in Mad for Miniatures, start collecting boxes, and that's it. Start playing Mad for Miniatures every Friday. Get fisted by Paddy every fucking Friday. Some bullshit list. George is there as well. And then we have a few guys as well. Originally it was like me, Toby, Nev and Ben all started again. Now it's like the OG Bugle gang. And then we met Paddy and George, Trish, people like that. We started nicking them off Mad for Miniatures. And then we formed Bugle Batreps. They formed Bugle Batreps in, I think it was 2020. Just started setting up tables at home because we wanted to play more regularly. Started doing I think we went into 9th edition, we was heading into then. So we set up tables at home, I was getting more invested in it, buying more armies, spreading myself out sort of thing. And then we had COVID that hit.
Yeah.
And that was a shitter. But I was still building armies and stuff like that. And then after COVID, I started doing the tournaments at Mad for Miniatures. So then I was running those, organising them and stuff like that. And that's when I started bringing more of the match play competitive scene down here, I think. Because there wasn't many places down here at all that do proper match play, proper tournaments all organised. A lot of time it was just quite fun, casual tournaments.
Yeah.
They still are fun, but there's a competitive side to them as well.
Yeah.
So I was doing them for quite a while, and then myself and Paddy and a few others, we wanted to try and kind of take it to the next level. That's when we kind of stood to the side from Mad for Miniatures for Vinny, and then we started just doing I've invested obviously into terrain, mats, tables and stuff like that, and we just took it up at that next level, and that was 3 years ago now. So been a couple of mad years, obviously running events and stuff like that. Going into our 3rd year in January. That's getting massively successful.
Because I only met you about a year, 18 months ago. It was the first time I ever met you or even heard of, and that was at a tournament. I think I'd messaged you a few times. Can I do this? Can I do that? No, you're not allowed to bring this. But then I think what you've done for the Cornish competitive, even just the casual scene as well. I think you've single-handedly. I know you do have support, but I think you're the driving factor behind it. I think what you've done is absolutely phenomenal. You've really pushed a lot of good players to their peak, I think, and you've been responsible for that. Obviously we had John on last week, and I know there's that friendly banter, but he was actually singing your praises, and that's all down to you sort of pushing him as a player, and obviously the competitive side that you brought down here. Because I think the problem we have down in Cornwall is our location. We're tucked right out of the way of the country. If we want to go to any tournament anywhere, we're looking at least a 2-hour drive at least. So now you've brought it in a bit more, and it's down to you that you've brought all that in.
I think one of the factors was during COVID when everywhere was shut down, you couldn't go anywhere to play. And when bans and all that started being lifted a bit, you could go see your friends and stuff like that. I was quite openly if you want to play 40k, come over, use a table, use your terrain, whatever, and just pray. And as I seen that, a lot of people was keen to pray during the weekday evenings because nowhere to play. Literally no weekday evenings down here. The only one you got in there is Happy Piranha doing Monday evenings. Even that you're limited by time. You still got to pay to go down there. I'm quite open. In fact, I've got more tables, but back then I had a couple tables. Just come pray, we'll hang out, social. If you finish at fucking midnight, I don't care. Just
your house is basically a Warhammer shrine.
So as you see it now,
no furniture, but just Warhammer tables and terrain.
So as you know now,
where do you sleep?
In the terrain, in the woods. Obviously, as you see now, I've got 2 rooms set up at home, 3 lots, big tables. We got shouts and shouts of armies of mostly mine and other people's are left here for people to use. And obviously that goes into what I started when was it now? It's a couple of years ago now.
Mm.
So one Wednesday, Jamie Best, he said to me, "Oh, do you want to come up to Liscard? They do like the little shop, I think it's called up there, and they do a 40k every Wednesday." So I went up there, like, took some injector markers to give them and stuff like that, and just see what it was, because there's like, you come on Wednesday, you should learn how to pray and stuff like this.
Mm.
So I took some models up with me, went up there, and there's a very like different to what I expected to see. So when I went up there on Wednesday, I see it. They just had everyone on one big table, and it was just kill each other sort of thing.
Oh right, yeah. I think when I was learning to play many years ago, when I was a wee lad, that's a very similar thing that they did back then as well.
Yeah, so obviously there's on table we have like towel prayer and the orcs there. You're just playing on one big table with each other, and they're just killing each other. And like, yeah, it's good. You can shoot your guns, have fun, to roll some dice. That's not how 40k is nowadays.
No, it's not.
So, like, no offense to them and what they're doing, but I was like, I want to teach people how to play 40k properly, like the match play, but still in a fun, but competitive, casual way. If that makes sense. Like, you want to play 40k, play it properly, play the missions, play the points. It's not just kill each other, as you know.
No. It's been a long while since that's been part of the 40k game. Although that is part of it. It's you have to kill with purpose and intent. I need to kill this objective that's going to take that. Stop doing it. That action or that unit that's going to be killed on an objective. So that it's killing with purpose, isn't it? Really, it's not just right. I'm going to all Hail Mary and shoot everything off the board.
Yeah. So it was like, I came back after London Grand Tournament event. I can't remember which one it is now. And I was just like, right, cool. Every Wednesday, I'm going to start hosting just 1K games, and we'll just teach people how to play. Free to come, just come along. And that's when we started following our Learn to Play Wednesdays. And then that's kicked off, basically. So now, like, the people who first started coming to those are now all playing 2K games regularly, coming to events and stuff like that. And then they're helping the newer 1K players come through. So it's a nice little cycle like that. Yeah.
I've been to a few of those myself, actually, and they have helped me out quite a bit, actually. As you know, I think I've messaged you, and I've been struggling with my game for a while. I think partly for people in my position, and that's a video that I'm going to be covering in another sort of topic I'm going to be covering in another video. But I have a young family, I have a wife and children, I work full time, so it does stop people like me from playing as much as they'd like to. So that's where your skills cannot be as honed as they could be. So obviously the nights that I have been coming to yours, which you put on, has really helped me no end with further my game. I'm not quite where I'd like to be yet, but I'm not losing as many games as I was, that's for sure. But everybody I've spoke to down here has got nothing but the utmost respect for what you've done for the Warhammer 40k scene. They really do respect everything that you've done. It's been quite remarkable, really.
Yeah. I know a lot of people have like bigged me up and stuff, but I've had like a lot of help. Like Paddy's there throughout years, always.
Yeah. It's almost like you've got a support team behind you.
Yeah. Like without all the team, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I think all I've done is just like pull them together and kind of like steer the ship more. Yeah. That makes sense. So it's been a group effort. I've just pointed them where we need to go.
Yeah. That's why they call you Captain. Captain 4-Up.
Captain 4-Up.
How did you get that name, Captain 4-Up? How did you get that? Tell us how you got
that. So apparently all my dice only ever roll 4-ups. I was playing Harlequins in, I think it was 9th edition, it must have been. And obviously the army ride rule was 4-up invulnerable saves. And all I did is, what are my 4-ups?
So it's the name.
And it's got a bit more tenuous when we've gone into like the neck one, 10th edition with Catans and stuff like that. But I love armies with 4-up saves. That's it. 50-50 chance, I'm happy.
So what army are you running at the moment, Martin? What's your current jam?
So army-wise, so this year I actually took 40k a bit more serious, as you say. So last year I did replay many tournaments. I missed LGT, didn't go into any like super majors, nothing like that. because I'm more focused on just running our events. Because the first year I was doing our events, that's why I stopped doing YouTube as much as well. Because I had the events put on as well as our weekly evenings and stuff like that. Just haven't had the time to do it. Because we still work normal jobs, obviously, as well.
Yeah, of course. This is a hobby about a hobby, isn't it?
Yeah. And what I found though last year, like, while I wasn't playing as much, there was other like good players in the team and stuff like that. And like maybe from the wider picture, some people did take me as seriously as a player as like compared to some other people. It's like, oh, maybe he's not as good as it's only Martin sort of thing. So what I've done this year is obviously I decided last year, right, next year I'm going to play my neck ones and I'm going to play events properly. This year I think I've played like 20, 25 events. Gone through London GT, Coventry, Grasshammer GT, some cross swords, 2 days and stuff like that. And I've really like focused down on the neck ones this year, competitive wise.
It's quite a nasty list that you've got.
It helps that neck ones are in a good place as well.
Yeah.
But I started with Beachhead in February. That was my first time going to Beachhead in Bournemouth. And that was a Friday to Sunday event. And I was playing my neck ones then. I went through with my Canoptic Court. Back then, so it was like 18 Wraiths, Doomstalkers, Catans, all that jazz. And I ended up coming, I think it's 47th out of like 250 odd players. So I had 4 and 2. It was. I had really good. I was a really good like confidence booster as well. Yeah. And what I found at Bournemouth as well, it was just south enough. Didn't get all the dickheads from up north. So you still had like good players. And when I was up there playing in the Beachhead, a lot of the players recognised who I was from the YouTube videos. With it being more southwest, they watched the channel and stuff like that, which was quite nice for me. When I got to today, I was like, I know who you are. I was like, nice. And then throughout the year, I was stuck with neck ones, doing really well. Couple of bad events where I fucked up game 1 and just decided, right, I'm just gonna get drunk. I went to the Grasshammer event earlier in the year with some of the guys from the team. We did a vault on it as well. Grasshammer, obviously, we used all their terrain down here, and we had good communication and good relationship. Grasshammer. So they invited us up, me and Paddy, to take part in the GT for the first one they did, and then we dragged some of the others up with us. And I went in, I had Elder game 1. I was like, what? Take a lot of shit off the table, and I literally got the whole table streamed out, like what George did to John he was speaking about last week. I literally could have been no fucking morals down. Literally, like the worst game I ever fucked up. It was.
But you learn from those mistakes, right? You know, that's not something you're going to do again.
No, I took it like a champ as well. I was just like, fuck's sake, I ruined it. But let's go with it.
Got pissed.
And then I just got on the piss. So I was vlogging it all as well. You could watch the vlog and just see me getting more drunk as it goes on. It is what it is.
I always think that I'm not. I mean, I'm drinking right now, but I'm not really a beer drinker. So if I went to a tournament or anything like that, I probably wouldn't be touching anything just to try and stay on my game, because I struggle enough as it is. I don't need alcohol making.
I've got a bad history of events and drinking, as people know. We've been to the Curtin up in Treverton events, two days. We went the first year, a load of us, and there's literally, I think, like 12, 15 of us, like Bugle and Powerhouse players all together. And on a Saturday night, we all went down in Treverton, literally on the piss till like 2 a.m, fucking drinking on tables and all this sort of stuff. Then we went back for the second year again, a big group of us around, drink. And on the Saturday evening, I fell over coming out the Wetherspoons, fucking broke my ankle.
I remember this.
Yeah. So,
that took a long time to get better, actually, didn't it?
It wasn't my greatest fucking thing I've ever done.
Yeah, it didn't hurt though, right? Because of the beers, it didn't hurt at all. But
so then
afterwards,
carrying me back to the hotel, I'm there to try and walk on my broken ankle. Pissed off. It's just us Bugle players. We do like our drinks. Yeah,
fair enough.
One of our guys called Nev. Famous saying Nev always says is, just here for a good time.
Yeah, that's it. Just go and enjoy yourself. It's a lads' weekend away, isn't it? These tournaments.
Yeah. I mean,
away from
last one as well. When we was all out like drinking early in the night, we got the bugle players, we got the powerhouse team, all the powerhouse players there, tucking themselves up in bed by 9 o'clock, and bugles out there fucking drinking until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Fair play though. It was fucking John who came and picked me up on the Sunday morning when I was fucking dying. Bugle players just fucked off and left me. Fucking John had to come and fucking get me.
Bugle players left you. Cheers, chaps.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you make it to the first game?
No, I had to drop on the Sunday because I was like, fuck, I had to fucking get back home.
Oh no.
Luckily, I was driving, but a couple of the other guys fucking dropped as well and just took me home because I was fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as you said, as long as you have a good time, that's all that matters.
I'll remember it forever. So
yeah, well, the bits that you remember.
Yeah, the bits. I was just down in double vodka and oranges non-stop. Yes.
Sounds brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Down, necking it, slamming it down. Another. Like fucking 4 from the fucking Marvel films. Slamming down.
Sounds absolutely brutal. So what other art? Tell me about your Warhammer collection, because I've obviously seen it. Some of the guys watching this, I joke about it, are 2 listeners. One of them hasn't seen it. You've got almost every faction, haven't you? I think.
It's probably easy to say what fucking armies are not here. To be fair.
Yeah. So what armies haven't you got? Let's don't go with that.
The only ones we haven't got here on the shelves are Genesteer Cult, because Horde Army expensive models, Sisters, and Chaos Knights. I think we have every other army in some way or size here on the shelves.
And the great thing is, I was playing around yours just a few weeks ago, and I had to borrow some models off you just because of the new list I was trying. And obviously, you're more than happy to do that to sort of support players as well.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. Like, we can just go around. Martin, have you got one of these? Can I borrow a few Sagittars for my Votan? And I think I had a bike that I'd left at home as well because he was on the repair table because I'd dropped him and he'd fallen to bits off. So you lent me a bike as well. But it's just great that we can come around your house and you're so accommodating that you're willing to do that. So what is it, Martin, that actually drives you? What is it that you get out of it yourself from helping other players?
I just like the social aspect of it, to be honest. Like, none of us are getting fucking younger. Like, if we wasn't doing Warhammer, how often would you see like a group of people like this? Like,
that's exactly right. Yeah.
What I do now, like most weekday evenings, I see maybe for like what 10 to 16 people, different people each week. Don't we? It just keeps that social aspect of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
and I think
I got
it's
friends
great.
in school and stuff like that who don't play Warhammer. Like, how regular do I see them? Barely ever.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a massive proponent of it as well. I think this hobby has certainly it saved me in some ways because I was going through a few tough times with mental health and things in the past. Getting into this hobby for the social side of it as well. I think Warhammer certainly was there as a therapy group as well as just playing Warhammer. It's people think you're just playing with toy soldiers, but it's actually so much more than that.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, you've got the game itself, which is, as I tried to explain to my wife once, it's like chess on steroids. Think of chess. Can you play that?
That's what I always say, chess.
But it's on steroids.
For like the mental health stuff, I think everyone suffers from it. Some people are more vocal about it and more open about it.
Yeah.
Like, I've had some struggles this year, which people know about. Literally, like everyone in the group, like for our people's chat, as you know. We've got like multiple groups in it now, but it must be like 50 or 60 people in that one. And then on Facebook Messenger, we got like a Wednesday group. There's another 50 odd people in there. And then we got our second company or second team chat as well. So there's that many like different groups, volumes of people in it now. There's always people. Yeah,
and it's like I was saying last week to John. I said, I'm a firm believer that because of the close knit community that it is. I mean, I've made some good friends out of the Bugle group that I think are going to be lifelong friends. That I'm going to take that with me for the rest of my life. That that you've made. But I think right now, if I was to send a message, say, guys, my car's broken down, can someone help? Someone would be there.
Yeah.
They might take the piss out of me, but someone would be there.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the great community that you've fostered down here in Cornwall. I think what you, like, as I keep saying, what you've done for Cornish gaming and the community is unparalleled. It really is.
Yeah. I said all I've done is just give them a centre point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of the captain steering the ship, as you just said.
Yeah.
I like that analogy. So you did you win best army with one of your armies as well with your orcs? Was that right?
Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah. But I played against them actually, and I think they're wonderful. I think they're really nicely painted.
So like before this year, I've had like some trophies on my shelves from some events, but not too many. Like before this year, there's like a most sporting I've got there from the Predator event, and a best army one. That's both from playing my orc buggy list back when it was quite good. And then there was some like podium places, trophies and stuff like that. But this year I've played like a lot more events. I've done quite well at the events as well. Like I've won quite a few 1K events. I come second at the Cross Swords 2-day event up there. Come just behind John first. And yeah, this year I was like.
And I bet John never let you forget that either. That you come just behind him.
It's fine. I come above him at commentary. Like. I don't never forget that.
I do love, sometimes I'll be sat there, I might not be sort of saying anything, but I'll be scrolling through the chat, and I just love the banter and the how people sort of play off each other, and it's all in fun. There's nobody ever takes any offence, and I just sit there chuckling to myself. I think it's great.
The more they fucking bite the fishing rod, the more I'll fucking defeat it.
Yeah, that's right. I have jumped in a few times.
Alongside, partly obviously winning trophies is good, but the other thing is like playing in the ITC season.
Yeah.
Which runs from February to the following when Las Vegas Open finishes. Because you got the ITC season and then you got the UKT season as well. But I mostly look at just the ITC season. That's obviously worldwide. A lot of people only are interested in the UKT season, which is all UKTC events and stuff like that. But one of the things, obviously, with that, you can see where your team placings are. And what I'm quite happy with for the past 2 years now, the Bugle team has finished the highest in the Southwest, which is obviously like quite good for your ego, winding the powerhouse guys up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're in our third season of it now, which ends in January, and I think we're still up well above powerhouse, so we're happy.
I couldn't even tell you where warped ones are. I don't think we'll even dare look. I mean, I don't know how long you've got, but you'll be scrolling to the bottom of the page for quite a while.
Obviously, like down here, you've got obviously the Bugle team. We have our second company team as well. Then you got your warped ones. You got powerhouse.
Yeah.
And then you used to have Black Pro Gaming.
Okay.
Because they're based in Somerset, so I would count them as Southwest.
Yeah.
I mean, like the past year now, they've got a lot more northern players playing, a lot more like top players and stuff like that. I'm not counting them in the Southwest teams anymore.
No, they don't count. No, they've moved. They've expanded.
Yeah. But yeah, the like team rankings and stuff like that, I love winding everyone up by it, stuff like that. Because we are going to then finish this season above powerhouse as well, which is good. Big factor to this season though was me, Joe, Mark, and James. We all went to LGT this year, and both me and Joe went. Was it 4-1? Yeah, 4-1. I finished like 40th. Joe was like 49th or 50th. And literally just pushed our team right up there with the points. Because like what I said, like last year, I didn't really contribute to the scores in our team either. So I felt like I wasn't given too much. Yeah. I was too busy actually TOing events and stuff like that. But it's like this year I've played events, I've contributed scores, and actually I've got the highest score in our team points this season. So I'm quite happy I've put it in there. I'm up top, even above like George, Paddy, Chris.
What's your current ranking? Where are you currently standing?
In the UK, in the rankings, myself, I was in the top 100, but there's been more events, so I'm not sure now. Bugle team, I think we was 15th or 16th.
That's really good.
Yeah. But what I'll do, like, when it comes to end of January, when the season finishes, I'll compare our team scores, how many points we've scored, compared to last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think last year we was about 1,800 points. Because with the UK, with the team rankings, it'll take your top 10 scores from your team. And it'll only take 3 scores from each player. So it doesn't matter if I play 6 events, it's only going to take my 3 highest scores if it's high enough in the top 10.
Yeah.
And yeah, last year our team points was like 1,800 points, I think. This season we're already, I think, just under 2,100. So I'm like seeing the difference year on year. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it's only gonna. Hopefully you can keep building on that year upon year.
Yeah, I love it. And as the years go on, like some players will stop playing 40k, and we get new players come in and stuff like that.
Yeah, like, that's part of the courses, isn't it?
Yeah, when I started the Bugle Batreps team, it was like me, Nev, Toby, Ben. Like Toby doesn't play anymore, Ben doesn't play anymore. Nev you only see now and again. Was he Paddy still on with us, still going?
Mm-hmm.
And then like Trish and Jamie, they're still playing 40k, but they're more doing Necromondo now and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like players are dipping in and out, but then we have new players coming in, like Joe, for example, his Death Guard.
He's a prodigy, isn't he?
Yeah, he started coming on Wednesday evenings, and then this year's first season of events, he won like a 1k event.
Yeah,
it's from runners, stepped up to a 2k event, won it. Then he went to like big events like LGT, went 4-1 as well. So, yeah, he's a shithouse, but he's good. Dude, you calm down sometimes. He gets a bit too competitive, but
well, he's the wild child, isn't he? You've got to slap them children down a little bit when they get a bit unruly.
Joe, we can have fun. It's fine. Why are you using that unit? That's no good. Joe, he can use what models he likes. It's fun.
I do like Joe. I really like Joe. I knew Joe before, actually. I was lucky enough to work with Joe at TT Combat for a while. Yeah. I was only there, we sort of a few months of a crossover, but yeah, I was lucky enough to know him then. And I remember Joe actually, we sort of stood outside having a fag break. I said, "Oh, do you play this?" And he says, "No, this shit's not for me. I'm not touching it." Then sort of fast forward about 4 or 5 years, and now he's winning GTs.
Yeah.
Well, he's got more GTs, but
he got humbled a bit more towards the end of the year when Death Guard took their nerfs and stuff, but
yeah,
still doing the right wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. But then that's obviously showing his skill, isn't it? You know, he's testing his skill a bit more rather than just the good rules that the Death Guard had.
Yeah. Yeah, a good teacher as well.
He did, yeah. So we sort of just dipped into that, actually, teaching me. It comes on to my next question, and it's going to tie into a series that I'm going to be doing, which is going to be called It's Okay to Lose, because as I said, I've been struggling myself with 40k. Yeah. And from my perspective, it was I was putting too much pressure on myself to get those wins. I wasn't enjoying the game as much. So I took a step back and thought, where is the problem? It's clearly something me. I can't blame the dice. I can't blame that. And what I actually did was I turned it around, and I actually like losing now, because for me, it's if I'm going to lose, I'm going to learn something from it. It's going to be a learning opportunity. What could I have done differently? What should I have done differently? How does this army? All that was a bit of a gotcha moment. What advice would you have for people in that sort of position?
So yeah, obviously with the learning side of it, I've seen people like lose and stuff like this, and I know it's not nice to be on the losing side that much. Like you're losing every game, and you just can't seem to get that win. Mm-hmm. And some people will take it in a negative way, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But like, what makes it good is when they do finally start getting those wins, or that one win, or something like that. The amount of like put good feeling is for them. Yeah. It's like I'm going to call out one of our players here. Rory. He started coming to our Wednesday evenings playing. And he's playing Imperial Guard or Astra, you're welcome. And I think he lost his first like 8 or 9 games. Yeah. And then he hit a certain point it was, and he won his first game, and then he literally went on to win. And because he learned all the rules. He learned his army. He knew what was bad about it, what worked with it, what didn't. Made the adjustments. Obviously, he got the experience of playing other people's armies. Obviously, figured out how to use terrain and stuff like that, and be asking yourself like, why am I doing this movement? Why am I doing this?
Yep.
And then he found that spot, and then he just literally now he's doing awesome with his goth. He came to 1K events, won 3 games like he did.
Yeah. And I think that's the important thing, isn't it? Learning from those mistakes, and for some people it'll come quicker, some people it won't. Some people it's going to take you absolutely getting your face smashed in, so to speak, time and time again until you do have that eureka moment almost.
Yeah. The most common thing I see with people losing games is they're doing things without thinking. They're just going, well, I need to kill that unit. And they're not thinking why. What's the risk of doing that? So like, when we got all our tables set up, like loads of 1Ks, we got 12 people there, I'll literally just be walking around, just poking my head over the tables, and all I'll say to people is, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why have you moved here? And they'll look at me like with a confused look, like, I don't know. I said, do you need to go there? What's it doing for you? Yeah. It's against school uniform. No. So why you done that? I don't know. What's going to happen in your opponent's turn? Well, he's going to probably shoot me. So you're throwing it away. So okay, so we'll stay here. Yes, well done.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of thing. Just all you got to do is go around the field and just ask them questions. Like the most common thing I get is people will say to me, Martin, what does this rule does? And all I say to them, what does it say? They said like, oh, can I use this here? I said, what does it say? In the fight phase. Is there a fight phase? Yeah. I said, just take that double second instead of just quickly briefing and go, I can do this. Just double read and read a whole paragraph of like the strats and the abilities. Because some people will just read that first line. And they, cool, and do that, but they won't read the last line of it or something.
Yeah, and from my experience, that's something I've been guilty of in the past. I think a lot of people have, where you sort of look at a stratagem you're going to use, and then you've been using it, and it says at the start of your fight phase, and you think, oh, I've been using this wrong then.
Yeah, and like another big one I find is people try and play the cards, but doing it at too much a cost. Sticking a 400-point unit, for example, to do an action in the open, where that unit actually should be getting in combat, tying something up, and being your offensive unit, for example. Is it worth going there and scoring 2 points? It's not better to discard the card, give yourself a CP, and use your unit to go more offensively and deny your opponent some points.
Yeah.
Or say people get aerial denial turn 1. And they just rush their unit straight out, advancing it, so it's not shooting, it's not charging, and then they lose it turn 1 because it's out in the open. And
that's why you have some of those cheap throwaway units in your list that can do that, like your scouting units, your infiltrators, and that's what they're there for, not necessarily your big set pieces that you want.
Yeah, the same with like getting like the action cards nowadays, like survive until your opponent's turn. It's like, well, I could do it with this like shitty scout unit. But are they going to survive next turn? Probably not. My opponent could get there. It's like, why bother? Just discard it. Give yourself the CP. Else you're just going to be stuck with it again. It's just like those sort of decisions people seem to struggle with.
Yeah.
But that just comes with more playing regularly.
Yeah. I think getting your reps in. I think what I aim for is I'm trying to aim for 2 reps a week. That doesn't always happen, obviously, because of my family circumstances and everything. But I get a minimum of 1 in. Saying that I didn't get any in last week, but I do get a minimum of 1 where I can. Absolute minimum, because that's your reps, and you need to keep that knowledge fresh. And that's going to hit me the next time I play. Although it's only been a week, it's actually 2 weeks since my last game. Yeah. So when I do come to playing, which is going to be at the weekend, I think, or probably Sunday or something like that, I'll be able to get a game in. But it's that time of year, I'm afraid. Christmas, I've got school plays and all sorts with kids. Yeah. It's just nigh on impossible some evenings. But that's going to hit me, I think, in the next time I do play, because I haven't had that regular. There's probably going to be a few little things that I'm going to forget, and it might not necessarily be my own rules. It might be like my deployment, or I might not think about what I'm doing with a certain unit and the intent and purpose of it. That's why I think I'm a very, very I'm a proponent of getting those regular reps in. That's what you need to do. It's like if you're a football player, you need to keep playing football in order to keep the game up. It's exactly 100%. The same.
And with that, also playing like the same list or sort of list. Not changing the whole list every week and stuff like that.
No.
Getting the reps in competition every week. Right, so I know what this army can take. I know what it can dish out. And that's how you get there. Just literally consistent playing. that's why John's done so fucking amazing this year.
Yeah,
he does. So
yeah.
obviously, like obviously from my side of that, while I may not play like 1 or 2 games a week, I only get 1 game a week sometimes, or 2 or 3 a week. But what I do see, because I'm involved with the games most weekdays, so while I'm not actually playing them sometimes, I'm still involved in the games.
Yeah,
so that does keep me fresh as well.
Yeah. And I've joked before, but you're like the all-seeing, all-knowing guru of Warhammer rules.
I think I've got good knowledge for the rules.
I think you have. I think you've just got Wahapedia like installed into your head. You're not the author of Wahapedia, are you?
I think what how to know in 10th edition, a lot of the armies like struts and abilities and rules, they're all quite familiar.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Quite often when I'm playing someone and they try to do something, I'm like in the thing, I'm like, good chances are it's actually like this. So I ask him, are you sure it's like that?
Yeah.
Like I will say to him, like, no, it is like this. I'll ask a question to them, so they check in it. Oh yeah, it's not. It's like this actually. And
I think 10th is actually a great starting point as well, because it is a lot easier to remember, I think, than previous editions. There's less at the moment.
Yeah. So obviously, like your like reactive moves, for example, it's always like if you come in 9. You get a D6 move, or maybe a 6 if you're in a certain like ability or whatever.
Yeah.
You got like sticky objectives, the 3-inch deep strikes. None of them can ever charge when they do it and stuff like that. And I don't know what else there is, but a lot of them are generally all the same nowadays.
It's just a bit more conformed, I think. It's a more sort of, everything's been pulled together and it's more straightforward. Everything's like you've got your sustained hits on the really abilities.
Is the app, the 40k app.
Yeah. I wish they'd done that years ago.
I was a long time Battle Stripe man. I was just like, I'm not using anything else. Battle Stripe is the way.
Yeah.
And they bought this app out. I literally love it.
And they smashed Battle Scribe, didn't they?
Yeah. But in fact, you can just like type in one keyword, like fight or charge, and they'll bring up all the different rules and stuff like that.
It's
invaluable.
Just
find the rules straight away.
Yeah, it's such an invaluable resource, that app is. It's the best thing they did, actually. I really think that's one of the best things.
You're doing their turn, and you can literally just type in a keyword and just double check something if you're not sure what it does.
Yeah.
Obviously, the only bad side is the codex is being locked.
I was just going to say that. What I do begrudge is paying 30 quid for a codex that I'm probably not going to read much of, except go straight onto the app just for a code. I would rather pay 10, 15 quid for a code and not have another book lying around.
Also, I think like the subscription or whatever you pay, they should just put up a little bit and just give you access to everything.
Yeah, if they want the game to be fully balanced, that would be that's one of the ways to go. So you won't have all these gotcha moments. Everybody knows everything. I mean, you know everything anyway, but I use Wahapedia a lot. That's one of my go-to resources.
Codex and lock, you still Wahapedia a rule if you're not sure, or like if you're facing someone at a tournament and you're not sure what their army does to example too much while they're doing a movement, you could just sit down, look up that unit. Okay, that's what guns it's got. That's what damage it can do to me.
And asking your opponent as well. That's one of the things I always ask now. What's your maximum threat range?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Stay out of that. Yeah. What's your longest range weapon? Okay, what's the strength? What gotcha moments could you have? And that constant communication.
Yep. So that's one of the things I keep telling everyone teaching. Like, so when you're doing your movement, can that unit advance and charge? Can it advance and shoot? If so, what's its movement? So then telling people like, we get our tape measures out. So measure, say, this is your movement. That's your charge range. So if you stay at 1 inch out, so you cannot shoot me, you can't charge me or whatnot. Yep. I said that's how you should be playing 40k, is by intent. So pre-measure before anyone's moved. So I don't care if you ended up like fucking 6 inches away from me. We've measured it. It's a 10-inch charge. If you end up moving 6 inches away, you fucked up something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I love it. Pre-measuring, 100% always.
And that's something that you've taught me, I think, actually, when I played you that time with your orcs, and that's something you drummed into me. And that's something, when I'm deploying now, I'm straight away measuring if I've got that 9-inch bubble. Yeah. So I can't have anything deep striking. And it's actually on Grey Knights, it's 3 inches. Oh, great.
I'll give you one good example this year of pre-measuring. So I played in the Crossswords event, and I think it was game 4. So first game on Sunday, I was playing a lovely orc player called Martin, Jolly. We become good mates now. We talk to each other quite a bit. It was orcs versus my neck ones, and it was on supply drop mission, so disappearing objectives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was long ways deployment as well, Hammer Anvil. And my primary was fucked the whole game. I didn't score any primary points. So I took a secret mission, which was my warlord on his home objective. Because all the fighting was in the middle of the table, all the orcs was there, and I had hyper-equipped, so I knew I could just drop in. So I had a little hex mark as my warlord to get on his home objective. So I took my secret mission. It was pretty obvious which one I was going for as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I dropped my hex mark in, and he still had gas and mega knobs in the middle. And so he wanted to obviously come back and stop me getting aerial denial. And obviously, as you know, with grass hammer terrain, got this big old L shape.
Yeah.
So I had my hex mark in there. Gaz was over this side trying to get in. So he put out his tape measure. I said, I'll put like near 6-inch charge or something like that. So wait. Before we do anything, so let's pick up the terrain and let's measure the distance from your base to my base, see how far it is. And it ended up being like a 10-inch charge because like Gaz needed to get his big old fucking base through the wall as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't do it. Which then ended up winning me a game because I got my secret mission and won it.
Yeah.
But that's like instant. Like when it comes down to moments in that game, you need that precise measurement. It's no good just doing a random bendy tape measure and go, okay, it's a 6 or 5-inch charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it does win and lose you games.
Yeah, absolutely does. And I would say at the moment I'm definitely losing games from bad movement and deployment. Not so much deployment, I've got better at that, but definitely certain movement decisions I've made in most recent games I've had. It's something I'm getting better at, and it's just work, isn't it? It's just those reps, and then you learn by those mistakes not to do it again.
The one thing I do encourage is like precise measurements, especially like pivoting and stuff like that nowadays. And what is my bug hate, which like a lot of the bugle players hate it now as well, is fucking bendy tape measures.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
No fucking way.
No.
Like if that's someone's vehicle, you're coming out like 4 inches, then you're going up.
Yeah.
And we do it like slow and steady, precise fucking measurements.
Yeah, because bending, that's not that you can't get an accurate representation that way. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
I'm really not a fan of the fly rule either, where you have to measure up. I mean, it's kind of completely ruined fly to what it used to be, I think.
Yeah, fly in this edition is fucking dog shite.
It is, isn't it? It basically doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I don't think many people.
Yeah, like for obviously grass hammer terrain and UKTC terrain, I say it's crap. On GW terrain, it's actually not too bad because if that's their ruin or whatever, they've only got like 2 little small L's on each side. All this is actually open, so you can still actually just fly over.
Yeah.
But a rhino or predator can just drive through as well. So fire is still pants.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually got a set of UKTC terrain that I've been using just to practice on, and that's slightly better than because you've got the smaller parts, like you say, and it's sort of very similar to GW terrain. So flies in some areas still significant, but not nowhere near as much as it used to be.
I miss my days of hiking, just fucking jumping over all the buildings.
You miss being able to turn your Volt, don't you? Your Tesseract Volt pivot for 2 and get an extra 8 inches of movement out of it.
I got like 3 or 4 games in with that. That was it.
That was such a miswording, wasn't it? I mean, I think we all knew what they intended, but because of the way it was written, everybody's like, right, we're going to abuse this. Yeah,
I took a monolith to the Grasshammer GT of the year. Before event, I checked with TOs. I was like, is this how you're doing the rule? And they said, yes. I was like, okay. So I paid 1 prayer. I was like, I dropped down 9 inches away. I need an 8-inch charge. So I was like, I'm sorry, but that's what they ruled it, and that's why I got paid away.
Yeah, and I checked with the TO, so that's how we're playing it.
Thank you. It's fine.
So what do you make of the new Christmas detachments? What are you thinking of those so far, the Grotmas? You've done all right. Necrons have done all right out of it, I think.
Nothing wrong with a Necron one.
Yeah.
Perfectly balanced.
I was reading through it, and it wasn't until I saw the strat that you could move through rules. I was like, what the fuck is that? Hello.
Oh, Silent King through the wall.
Yep. Silent King through a wall.
Yeah.
I think that's going to get nerfed. I would say. I think they're going to do something to that.
The only thing, see, I still like my hypercrypt, but we got the data balance coming any moment now, any week. So who knows what's going to happen with like hypercrypt?
Yeah. What one do you think is the best so far? Because I think some of them have been a bit pants. Some of them, I don't think there's been anything except the Necron one, which has been.
I haven't paid too much attention to them, to be honest. I see everyone posting in chat, and they all just go, "Oh, this is shit." Like the Death God one came out first, and Joe got all excited about it. I was just like, poo emojis. It's like, whatever.
I think there's play in it, but I don't think it's as good as what they've got.
Yeah, so like that one came out, and then was it like Thousand Suns? The ones I was like, they all seemed a bit like fun and friendly detachments.
Yeah.
Casual games.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be anything that's game breaking.
And then you got the Necron one, God.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, clearly the person doing those Grotmus detachments plays Necrons.
Yeah, Josh Roberts banging it in.
Yeah. Well, I'm eagerly, as you know, I'm an avid Votan player, and I'm eagerly awaiting to see what I get. I'm thinking it's going to be something to do with the Sagittars and the bikes. It's going to be similar to the rest and move through buildings, that sort of thing. That's what I'm suspecting, to be honest.
Yeah.
Give them a bit more playing, which is fine because I'm running a list with 5 Sagittars at the moment anyway, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah. I like the fact they got the Death Watch one back, obviously.
Yeah, they needed to come back because they got shit all over in their agents codex. That was a very bad move. I think. I don't think they fully. I don't know whether they thought of that, planned it, or it was they wanted to do away with Death Watch and then they decided not to because of the backlash. I don't really know what was going on there, but I'm glad it's back because you know like Robbie plays Death Watch and all those models just. We got really gutted.
Michael James, our second company, loves fucking Death Watch. It's got all his little fucking silver shoulders or whatever. Obviously, when Death Watch went away, I gave him so much shit about how much money he spent on all his fucking things. But to be fair to him, bastard only paid fucking Iron Storm one hands most of the fucking year anyway. Which I give him shit about all the time. So James, Iron Hands, bro.
Do you remember Iron Hands in 8th? Do you remember the nightmare that used to be?
Oh yeah, I was on the receiving end of them 3 times.
Yeah, I remember that. What was it, like a 4-up Feel No Pain, a 4-up in Van, and God knows what else?
Yeah, I remember me and Nev went to a doubles tournament up in Fredericton. And I took Chukai, he took Elder. So there's like nice little like fluffy sort of proper doubles list. And we played lovely guy now, he's a mate of mine now, called James McQueen, plays with Draw Swords. And he's with a guy called Jack West as well, we're friends with. And he bought a fucking filthy, literally, it was just a 2,000 list of fucking Iron Hand Space Marines, just split into 2,000 points. And they fucking destroyed us, just showing us off the table.
Yeah, I've been on that receiving end before.
The nice thing about the game was James fucking kept giving us Brothers Originals to the game.
Butter you up. I think we've all had games like that where you've just been. I remember, in fact, you must remember the first tournament I ever went to actually. Where who did I play? I played George, and I think by turn 2 I had nothing left on the table, and that was kind of when I realised actually I'm not actually any good at Warhammer. I need to do something about this.
I think that's the thing though. Like people will play and they know the game, they know how to, but they don't know how to play it
competitively.
Competitively.
Yeah. I'm glad I had that experience. I mean, I laugh and joke about it, but it was a turning point in my 40k competitive career to get. I now call it the George McCullough effect because he beat me so bad. It's kind of like, right, how do I at least last 3 turns next time instead of just 2?
See, like a lot of people get put off by the way like competitively. I don't think it's a bad word to use. You can do it, and you do it in a fun way.
Yeah,
like you see in our events, like everyone's trying to play their best games and stuff like this, but no one's like losing their shit about it. Like,
no.
Without like take backs, if you fuck something up, it's like, oh, your intention was to do that, so do it.
Yeah.
But like, what I have now is like, while we got a nice little like competitive scene down here, when you start going to like the super majors, like I went to the Coventry Super Major an event. It was only like 150 players, but you literally had like the top 20 odd players in the UK there, and it was like a Shark Tank. Like me, John, Mikey, and all that lot played some of like the fucking best players in the UK, and like some of them played players because like by turn 2 the game's gone. Like people you're playing who are like up at a level, they're like 2 turns, they've won the game. There's nothing you're going to do to stop this happening now. It's just madness.
Yeah.
But that's just another level. The people who like putting that much research and into it and stuff like that, it's just bonkers to us. I quite like our little scene we got down here.
Yeah, I think the local scene down here is quite cutthroat in its own way as well. Actually, I've had some really sort of brutal friendlies actually.
Yeah.
Like, but also I find
like, a lot of the players down here can hold their own against most of the good players in the country. I reckon.
I think
it's just that very like top bit when you look at like the top 10 players in the world and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the ones who's like literally doing it for livings and working for Games Workshop.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. It's just
that's the dream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we live too far away. Actually, I mean we're down here in Cornwall. The head office is Nottingham. It's a bit far to travel to work every day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But, I try like our scene down here because it's that local. If you end up being a dickhead to someone, then no one's going to fucking invite you back.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never met anybody. I've never had that displeasure of, excuse me, of playing someone as you say who's a dickhead. I've genuinely enjoyed every single game that I've played, and I think most people as well that I have played, they've been giving me really good feedback as well. Like it's almost like in a way a bit of a coaching game. Like, okay, do this differently, try that differently. I've been in that situation myself. I was playing somebody a short while ago, and it was almost like I was giving them advice, and I took a step back and thought, hang on a minute, I think maybe my game has improved if I'm there now able to give advice to somebody else. I'm not an expert by any means, but obviously there is some improvement. Yeah. I've basically gone, actually, I think this is a little bit of an improvement from almost a 0% win rate to a 36% now. So that's not too bad. That's up in.
You use the tabletop tactics, not tabletop battles app, yeah?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So obviously, I love that app. I tell everyone, it starts coming, put your scores on it. So even if you're losing games, get your opponent, send a score over, put it in. Because you'll see yourself getting better. You see yourself like how many times you won going first, how many times you won going second. Yeah, but if your win rate going second is like 80% and first is 10%, then obviously you're doing something wrong going first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And obviously on it, like you fucking see like your wins against certain armies, like how many times you lost against Tau, for example, or how many times you lost against Space Marines. Or,
I've got a real problem against Gene Stealer Cults at the moment, but that's probably because I live close to Simon. He plays Gene Stealer Cults as a main, and exactly. And he's pretty good with him, to be fair. But Gene Stealers are just shits at the moment, aren't they? I can't wait to see how their rules are going to be improved for me.
I haven't played them this edition, Hardy, but I played them last week against one of our second company guys for a 2K game. Well, neck ones, and it was a struggle. I was losing like most of the game. I managed to get a win off, but that coming back on like 4s and 5-ups.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's bullshit. I had a game against Simon, and it was almost like I was playing a 2K versus a 3K game. I think he had about 700 points brought back. I'm losing things, and he's losing things, but he's recycling. I don't really have an answer for this because I'm getting bullied off the board.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they can fix that mechanic because if you don't roll dice, you're losing the game. If you get your units back, you're probably going to win.
Yeah, they're winning the game on dice rolls, aren't they? It's either they fail all their rolls and they lose, they win all their rolls and you lose.
Yeah. So when I played them last week, I knew how I tried. I had a plan. It was like weaken each unit, but don't actually kill the unit to stop them from coming back. But it's easier said than done. Yeah. But,
your dice rolls spike, and then all of a sudden I didn't want to kill that unit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it'd be interesting to see how they change it. I did hear rumour that it's going to be like a token system. I personally think there should be a cap of what they can bring back. So once they've hit maybe 400 points or something like that, that is it. They can't bring back any more. I don't know what the answer would be.
Maybe making it a cost of CP to use a strat to try and get it back. Or 1 year comes back for a strat. So they're only gaining 5 units back per game or something.
Yeah, I think it should just be a 2d6 roll and it's got to be a double 6.
Yeah.
No, it's nice. It's a puzzle that I've been trying to unpick for a while, and I have beat GSC, but it's just like you say, when they get all their roles and you're playing at suddenly a 3K versus 2K game, it's just what do you do?
Yeah.
It's completely unfair, I think.
Yeah.
But the GSC players are loving it.
On the same note, like with that, obviously you got like sisters and with their fucking miracle dice.
Yep, and that's getting changed as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's things like that where you don't need any luck. You're just like, cool, I'm hitting you. Cool, I'm winning you. Cool, I'm doing this to you.
Yeah, well, I need a 7 to get into that unit and win me the game. Oh, look, there it is.
Yeah.
There's a 6. So I only need to roll a 1 now.
Yeah, stuff like that's a bit jank.
Yeah.
But
and with all their fate
I play fucking 4 Catans most of the year, or 6 Catans, so I can't say much.
You can't talk. Well, I've been playing obviously Votan, but I think their rules are a bit stale now, so that's why I'm looking forward to the new Grotmus detachment. But also, I think they need some new units. They're massively in need of an injection, and I was quite surprised they didn't announce it to come out a bit sooner, because I think if they do that, that's going to give them the boost they need. I think they're due a second wave, aren't they, this year, or this edition? They are due a second wave, so you're going to be getting quite a few new units.
More unit, like I got my Votan all built up, painted, got my 2-hit army, and then I was like playing a few times, like don't like it too much. It's like
yeah.
So
there's play in it. I think the thing about Votan at the moment is they're just straight down the middle. They're not too good, they're not too bad, but then they don't have, unless you're spiking a lot, they don't have all this specialness like what you've got with your Satans and everything. And there's not a lot to build around as well. Like I said, at the minute I'm running a 5 Sagittor list with those lottery guns, which when they do spike, it's like my GSC really. It's great, absolutely great. You roll a double 6, and then I've got sustained D3. Oh look, I've got 8 shots. But that being said, just the other week I managed to get 8 shots. I think after I start rolling to wound, I rolled a bunch of 1s. 2 went through, and he saved them. So that was the end of that. But yeah, it's just one of those, isn't it? It come, and I think learning to play with an army that's not as good as what the tools that other people have as well is actually only beneficial to me, because I'm learning to play the game and not just the army, if that makes sense, or the index.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm learning to play it on hard mode in a way. I don't think they're a hard army. There's probably worse. Well, there are worse armies, but I think they're just not a good army.
Yeah, but obviously that's coming like we're how far into 10th edition now? Just under a year or over a year?
Yeah.
So obviously now you've got to try and get like the index and codex tweak. You got loads of codexes come out, loads of mobility, different attachments, and you still got the index armies stuck with one way of playing basically.
Yep. I don't think it's as bad this edition though. I think they've done a good job than previous editions of keeping it balanced. It's still there, but it's not as bad.
Some of the index armies should enjoy the indexes while they got them, I think.
I think you're right
new
there,
codex doesn't always mean good stuff.
No, that's when they change a lot and it gets nerfed. They did that with Space Marines, didn't they?
You're a Space Wolf player as well
yes,
as me.
I am.
Love Space Wolves, and I am very worried for when they get a codex.
Yeah.
Thunderwolf, the Shield Dreadnoughts, Wolfen Dreadnoughts, things like that.
Yeah.
You've seen what happened with the Blood Angels. They're losing their Liberian Dreadnoughts and stuff like that. Death Company being nerfed.
Yeah, well, I've heard a rumour that they are going to be getting an updated Primaris version of the Thunderwolf Cavalry, which I'm all for. But it's if they take them away altogether. I hope they're iconic. Yeah, don't take them away, please.
I love my Space Wolf Dreadnoughts, like Beyond, Murderfang, the Shield Dreadnoughts. Yeah. But you see the way the small Dreadnoughts are going, so I'm concerned.
I don't mind if he gets a Redemptor chassis. I think they could quite easily write that into the lore if they wanted to. Just say he's gone into a Redemptor Dreadnought chassis. I think that's something that they could quite easily. A Murderfang as well, because Murderfang's a bit of a beast on the table. Yeah,
I'm more worried about him going Legends, but I definitely think people like Lucas the Trickster and stuff like that.
He's going yeah. And I think a lot of them will be.
Maybe Logan on the sled.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I've heard a rumour that Logan's just going to be getting a new updated Terminator model, and that is it. The sled's going.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, I am slightly anxious.
Not always good news.
No. And that's the thing as well. That's exactly what this index wants from Space Wolves. I think is they want it to be a character-centric Space Marine army because they're all about their sagas and telling a story. They're Vikings, aren't they, in space?
Yeah.
And if they lose half their characters, it's a bit worrying.
Yeah, I want chapters to keep their flavour about them. Like we've been talking about in our chats recently in group about like how you sort of the space marine problem out. Because as you know, like this year, people have been running like Black Templars in what's the dodgy attachment? Black Templars army in Ironstorm detachment.
yeah.
As fucking something else. And just stuff like that, like having like being able to take librarians in like Black Templars in Ironstorm and stuff like that. Or I know like Beachhead only year, Alex Harrison was there. I can't stand fucking Harrison. I don't care. I don't care if someone points out him. He's a cunt. He's a cheat. He should be arrogant. But I saw him. He's playing Crimson Fist tanks. So all played yellow with a fist on them and all that. But he's playing. So he had he's playing with Black Templars. So he's playing like Black Templar Gladiators, normal Gladiators in Ironstorm detachment with librarians. Obviously, they haven't changed that out, so you can't take Black Templars tanks in other detachments or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just janky. You had like 6 of one fucking tank.
It's heresy. Yeah.
But I don't know how they stop. Like, Blood Angels was popular. Now you got like Gradius is popular, Dark Angels and stuff like that. But it's how you sort that Space Marine problem out.
Yeah, that's always been a problem, though, isn't it? I think throughout the editions, they've always had a Space Marine problem because they are their poster boys. Yeah,
in fact, when you get to like the Space Wolf detachment coming out, they're going to be out playing like fucking 12 detachments by then. Because you can play them as Black Templars detachment, you can play them as fucking Dark Angels.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So I don't know how they fix that problem.
I think that's what they wanted, though, wasn't it? In the beginning, when they was talking about, this is 10th and it's coming. They wanted us to be able to play our Space Wolves as Templars using that detachment. They wanted us to play it as Ultramarines.
But the trouble we got now is there's certain builds that are like broken, and you can't nerf it without nerfing all Space Marines.
Yeah.
You got some Space Marines are like here and some like up here. It's like, what do you do to fix that? The only thing I'd personally think of is like, for Space Wolves, for example, if you want to take Beyond or Murderfang or any of the Space Wolf characters, they can only be taken in a Champions of Rust detachment.
Yeah.
Or Gilliman.
I think that would work, yeah.
Ultramarines. If you play Gilliman, he has to go in the Gradius Task Force. You can't play him as Ultramarines as Dark Angels detachment. You can still play other, like, say, like Thunderwolf Cavalry. If you want to play them, cool. You can play them in Thunder, the Advancing Charge, whatever.
Oh yeah, is it Spearhead? Vanguard Spearhead?
That one, the Advanced Charge. But you should be able to take the characters into the other detachments.
Yeah.
So like for Salamanders, for example, if you want to play Vulcan or what's the other one called? By a fucking hammer.
I know what you mean, yeah.
They have to go in that Firestorm Assault Dog detachment. So that other units is fine. I think if you want to take the characters, they have to be locked to each.
Yeah, the named characters to the actual detachment for that.
That's the only way I think you could get around. Like,
and that makes perfect sense. I think. Yeah.
Like if you want to take Space Hawks and Gladius, that's fine, but you can't take a fucking
Grimnar on a sled all of a sudden.
Yeah, or what's the other guy called on his dog? Harold.
Oh, Harold Deathwolf, yeah. Well,
you still take Gladius and just take a normal captain or something. You can't take those characters. I think that's the only way you can get around balancing detachments. But then you'll start doing that, obviously, by the time all the codexes is out, there's going to be that much fucking information around again. Like,
this bloat, isn't it?
And you just end up with that fucking bloat, the same as it was at the end last edition.
I remember at the end of 9th, it got to the point that people were doing things, and I was just like, I can't even keep up. Yeah, I think you can do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just go ahead. I'll make my own rules up as well in a minute. We're far off of that. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Martin, we're at the hour mark. We're over the hour mark. So it's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Yeah.
You've been an absolute joy to speak to. Just before we go, what tournaments have you got coming up that you want to give a shout out and a promote? Remember, we've got two listeners. You might have 2 more people coming to the tournament.
So 2025, all our events out for the whole year. So our first one's already up on BCP, which is Bugle Bash 12, which is a one-day event, Saturday 25th of December. There's 10 places left currently. So I'm hoping after Christmas just fills up. Because normally all the events fill up quite fast.
Yeah.
First one January is maybe taking a bit longer for some reason. Not sure why yet, but
no one's got any money after Christmas.
So we've got events from January to September next year. The only month we don't have one is in February. So we've got March, April, May, June, July, October. July, August, September. So September is our last one of the year next year. There's 2 2-day events there. There's, I think, 4 or 5 one-days on Sundays. And there's also one doubles event, which is Bugle Bash Bros, which I know you guys love coming to.
Yeah.
Doubles.
Great fun.
Yeah, all the events for next year is already up on our social media. So if you go on our Instagram page, it's pinned on there. So you can save all the dates in your calendars, check them all in. So you don't double book yourself. I've made sure this year I've avoided all Mother's Day, Father's Days.
You made that mistake last year, didn't you?
Yeah, no fucking conflicts this year.
Yeah, I mean, have you avoided everyone's wedding anniversary? Because that's the other thing that stops people coming as well.
They can bring their wives and husbands, it's fine.
I'm not sure my wife would want to come.
It's the doubles, be fine.
Yeah. There you go. Save. It's not only is it mental health, it's saving marriages. It's now marriage counselling as well.
Exactly. The only one I want to shout out is obviously, as we spoke about just before, in January, I am hoping to start doing my YouTube channel again.
Yeah. You might even see me on there.
Yeah. I'm not sure what.
I'm happy to come on again.
I'm not sure in what context yet. Like, I put up a post today asking like if it were about ports or discussions like this. But I'd rather, I think, just do weekly little talks like this with a lot of the group. Like, I know my second company guys, they're all keen to like maybe I do like a podcast and stuff as well. So if I do like one of these maybe so often as well, Paddy's always keen to get involved and stuff like that. But a couple of weeks ago, I helped them down at Happy Piranha do either veterans or service. There's the event company of makers down there.
Yep.
So I helped out down there, lending all my terrain, all my mats and stuff like that free of charge. Put on their event for, it was like 50% veterans and people serving in forces and 50% normal players. I know they've been in contact with me, want to do more like future things. So
yeah, I think that might be something that we have discussed behind the scenes, and it's something that we might. I don't think it'll be this year, but it might be if we're still going the year after. Is that we might look at putting on a narrative event, which I straight away said, right, we'll speak to Martin for help because he's got the experience. It's not something that we're in a position to do at the moment, but it's something that has been discussed, and it might happen in the far future.
Yeah, like I gotta be careful. I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing at my events and stuff like that. So I don't want to overstretch.
No. It'd be us putting it on, but I'd just be saying, look, Martin, I need advice here.
Like my end goal, you could say, for event-wise, would be put on a super major in Cornwall. That's kind of my end goal, sort of thing.
Yeah. I
think the only way I can do that is obviously I don't have enough terrain and mats and terrain tables, all that sort of stuff. So that would have to be a collaboration with like company of makers maybe, or cross swords as well, because they use grass hammer terrain, bow and stuff off you guys even, stuff like this.
Yeah, we'd support you if you wanted to do that.
Like saying like 2 years, if I could put on like an 80-person fucking super major down here or something for Cornwall, I think that would be.
Then you can retire.
Yeah.
We're still keeping it. But yeah, obviously, things that you do see doing that in the future. We're here to support
have, like,
you anyway.
goals, what you want to aim for in the future and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I did think one of the things we did want to do is put like streaming on at our tables, like table one streaming at events, but try and get like the setup all set up at the hall, fucking packed up in the morning and evening. We've already like get everything up there, everything put away. It's a lot of fucking work as it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, again, that's something that I would certainly be looking. I could perhaps help you with, because doing this, I've got into that and I've looked into that sort of thing. So maybe that's something the walk ones could do. Is we'd have a streaming table and we'd be in charge of that.
There you go, something like that. See, walk one's live streaming. Get your little headset on.
Yeah, and then we'll do an award for whoever rolls the most ones.
Joey's currently being a shithouse town one with his backyards.
we get the rematch between Joe and Simon.
Simon won that game, not Joe. Remember?
Just fish a bit more. We'll just fish a bit more. Luckily, this isn't live, because the chat would be going mental now. But when it does go out, I'm keeping this in.
Good. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, Martin, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, mate.
Right. Before I go, someone wants to say hi.
Oh, you mascot.
You've been fucking licking my leg for the last fucking hour. Right, mate. Yeah, that's it.
All right, mate. I'll talk to you soon. All right, you take care.
We'll
see you next week.
Yeah. What do you say when you go bye? Cheers and gone.
What's on? Cheers and gone. What's on?
Cheers gone.
Cheers and gone.